Do my hands look weird like this, or does it look alright?
No, it's normal.
Yeah?
You just look normal,
Yeah? Alright. So, welcome to Inside Colebys, episode... Shit, what episode is it? 4, 3, 4. 4, innit?
Yeah.
Welcome to Inside Colebys, episode 3. So today we're gonna Welcome to Inside Colebys, episode 3. It's 4, innit? For f***'s sake. I just said 3 on the first one as well, didn't I?
Oh, the good one,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Welcome to Inside Colebys, episode 4. Today we're going to be talking about box and papers. So, does it have box and papers is one of the lines I hear the most from customers, without a doubt. But I think people actually know the least about it. So, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you, should you actually buy a watch without box and papers? How important it is, and I'm going to be showing you actually what box and papers are. So let's get into it. That's pretty perfect, isn't it?
Crazy, huh? Crazy. Here we go.
So what exactly are box and papers? So box and papers is what you get when you buy a new watch. So say from Rolex, you get the Rolex box and the Rolex papers, which is now like a warranty card. But the box is the not so important part. The box most of the time is replaceable unless we're talking about much older, rarer stuff. But the papers is the more important thing. But let's get the easy part done first. Let's talk about the box. So 90% of the time, boxes, they're not really important unless we're talking about much older, rarer things. Most modern watches, the box is replaceable. You can kind of get another box. So most of the watches we buy from the trade come just loose. Like they'll come a loose Rolex in a travel box that doesn't come new with the watch with the warranty card in it. We then buy batches of new Rolex boxes and put the box with the watch. So there isn't really a box that ties in with the watch. The only time it'd be really more so important is if you've got like a much older rare watch, like an old Daytona. You know, when you see like someone on Antiques Roadshow and they've got a Daytona that's been left that's worth 200 grand, that's when a box would be much more important to have the original box. But for most modern watches that we sell day in, day out, the box really isn't important and it's replaceable. A real Rolex box costs about £150. I see tons of fakes. I might even do a video on some fake boxes and show you what to look for and stuff. But yeah, we see tons of fakes. The fakes cost about 25 for a good fake. Yeah, it's just a poor business model, but I think people buy them because obviously they're a lot less money. But yeah, so that's it really. Boxes, not so important. So let's talk about the important part, papers. So what exactly are the papers? So the papers are the original warranty or set of papers you get from the manufacturer. So a lot of people get confused. People use the word certificate, papers, warranty card. But with Rolex, it used to be an actual piece of paper that was folded up. Now it's more like a credit card size card, or like a credit card size piece of plastic. And they pretty much always have on them the serial number, the watch number, and maybe the date of purchase, or maybe the customer's name. But that acts as the warranty with the manufacturer. Yeah, so that acts as the warranty with the manufacturer. So Rolex now give 5 years. So those papers or that warranty card is giving you the warranty with Rolex. I didn't actually know this, but I emailed Rolex and asked, can you still service a watch under warranty if I don't have the warranty card? They said, no, you do need the warranty card or the proof of purchase receipt. So it is important to keep it because it will cover your watch for all warranty repairs. So that's basically what they are, just the proof of warranty from the manufacturer. So why are they so important? So the majority of customers come in the shop and ask, does it have papers? Hopefully after watching this video, you understand exactly what you're talking about. But unfortunately, most people that ask that question don't know what they're talking about. They've just heard it or think it's important, but don't really know why it's so important. But that there is the exact reason why it's so important, because most people do ask it. So let's say if 8 out of 10 people ask and care about it, if I've got a watch and it doesn't have papers, that's 8 out of 10 people that are ruled out buying that watch. So then that watch is going to be so much harder to sell. Yeah, so it's harder to sell, so it affects the value. So I need to ask less money for it. So that simple reason there is why they are so important, because any watch I have without papers, the amount of people I can sell it to is far less than the same watch with papers. So basically, without papers, the watch is now harder to sell, so it's worth less money. It's as simple as that. So why would a watch have no papers? So a lot of people don't even know what the papers are, to be honest with you. A lot of people sell the watches to customers and don't explain properly what the papers are. They just throw it in a box, don't explain where they are or what they are. So most people don't even really know. I think they think they're instructions or whatever, but a lot of people leave them in the house. I hear tons of people say they found boxes in the loft, in the cupboard when they buy a new place. And if someone's had a watch 10, 15 years, if they ain't lost them or misplaced the box and papers, a lot of people go to sell the watch, don't even think about the papers. They come into us and say, oh, I've got this watch. Do you want to buy it? Yeah, we'll give this much for it. Do you have the papers? They go, oh, yeah, I might do. I think I'm up in my loft somewhere or in the bedroom. Or so a lot of people pass down a watch or sell a watch without even thinking about getting the papers. So, yeah, you do see quite a lot of watches without papers. And a common one is we'll sell a watch to someone. So on a new style Rolex box now, the back of the box, like in the lid part, there's a flap that comes down. And we put the papers in there and you close the flap up. So it's kind of neat. You can't really see nothing. And the amount of people that ring us up and say, oh, I've just bought a watch from you last week, but the papers ain't in there. We say, oh, have you opened the flap at the back? Oh, all right, yeah, I found them. So a lot of people probably don't even realise they've got papers in there. That's quite a common one. I would say 90% of the watches in the shop have got papers. I don't actively go looking to buy watches without papers. Like if I was at a trade show, I wouldn't be asking people, oh, have you got any watches without papers? The only real time I take watches in with no papers is if I'm taking something off a customer in part exchange. That's pretty much it. So yeah, the majority of our watches in the shop do have papers. Can you replace the original papers? No, you can't. You get one set from new, that's it. There's no way. You can't pay for another set. You can't get another set. You can't get a replacement set. You just have one original warranty card or a set of papers, and they're non-replaceable. So I would say the closest thing to it would be a set of service papers. So if you send a watch into Rolex for a service, they'll do the works or give the quote. You get the watch back if the work's done or not with the quote or the bill of repairs, and that then proves the watch has gone to Rolex. It's not stolen, it's not fake, and they're happy with it. Because obviously, if there's a major problem with the watch, they'll keep it or whatever. So yeah, I'd say that's the closest thing to an original set of papers. So a lot of people do that as a kind of as like a next best thing. They're still not as good as the original papers, but definitely the next best thing. So the difference in cost. So how much difference is there for a watch with papers to without? So let's talk about the things we sell day in, day out, like Rolexes modern Rolexes from like 5 to 15,000. So I'd say it probably makes about £1,000 difference roughly, just give you a ballpark figure. On older, rarer stuff, the price jumps up a lot. So, like earlier we was talking about if you had one of them old Daytonas, you see someone with one of them shows like the Antique Roadshow and it's 200 grand. A box is important, but papers are even more so important. So I would say papers on something super rare like that would be more tens of thousands. But we don't sell and deal with many of those watches. But not just older, things like Richard Mille and Pateks and stuff, you talking like higher thousands, like more 5 to 10,000, depending on the model. Definitely tens of thousands as the prices go up, as the watches like 100k plus. But most of the watches you see day in day out, like Rolexes, it's about £1,000 difference. Is a watch stolen or fake just because it doesn't have the papers? No, they're stupid. If someone's making a fake watch, a fake mechanical watch with all the different parts and bits and bobs, what, you think they can't fake a little credit card size piece of plastic or a piece of paper? Of course they can. I don't know why you don't see more fake watches with fake papers, and you do see them. My friend, I didn't see it myself, but my friend showed me the other day, someone come into his shop with a fake Rolex, but super, super good quality one with fake papers, fake box, and even a fake original purchase receipt, which is the first time I've heard that. So yeah, they do make it, but don't presume a watch is fake or stolen just because it doesn't have the papers with it. That's just a stupid myth. So should you even buy a watch without papers or without box and papers? That's up to you. I've personally bought watches for personal use in the past that don't have papers. The one thing to bear in mind is if you're buying a watch without box and papers, make sure you're paying the without box and papers price. So if I've got two identical Submariners in the shop, one's 10,000 with papers, one's 8,500 without, they will increase the same amount. So in a year's time, they might both be worth 500 more. It's not the one without papers doesn't get worth less than the one with get worth more. They will follow each other. So I've heard people say before as well, you don't actually wear the papers, which does make sense. And the other good thing about having a watch without papers, just to put a positive on it, you should have a watch that's like the entry level of that model. So it's like getting a car of the first year it comes out. If you looked online of all the watches, you said in that one without papers should be like the cheapest you can get that model. So definitely preferable with, but it ain't the end of the world. Just make sure, keep in mind, if you don't have papers, just make sure you're paying the no papers price. So something else I've got to clear up as well about the papers. People think that you log like a car. You log the amount of owners it's had and how many services it's had. No, there's nothing you do like that on the papers. You don't change anything on it once it's given to someone from new. Like I said, it's got the serial number, the model number, and possibly the date of purchase. That's it. You don't log nothing on it. You don't change ownership. You don't register different names. So if Dave sells it to John down the pub, you don't have to change the name. Someone sells a watch to me in the shop, I don't change the registration from that customer to me. It's just registered to the person from new, and that's it. So that was it on box and papers. Now you know exactly what you're talking about. So as a little summary, stick to box and papers if you can. It makes life easier in the future if you want to part exchange or sell the watch, for sure. It ain't the end of the world if you don't have box and papers. Just make sure you're paying the no box and papers price. Doesn't mean the watch is fake or stolen if you don't have the papers. Definitely not. But most importantly, just go to someone you know and trust. That's going to alleviate all headache because there's always someone to go back to. So yeah, but hopefully that explained things, and catch you on the next video.